In business, there are always winners and losers, and sometimes there can be both at the same time, even within the same corporate structure. Sort of. At least that's what we're going to talk about on this clip from the That Game Place live stream. Kotaku? I feel sorry.
Some people might have had a small victory as another company has a big loss. Kotaku Australia has been shut down. This by John F. Trent from That Park Place. Kotaku Australia will be shut down as part of a major cost-cutting effort for its parent company, Pedestrian Group. Now, before we get into that too deeply, just from an economic standpoint, Dave, I wanted to ask you this question. When companies are profitable, does it save you money to shut them down?
Well, mate, let me tell you, in Australia, they've got these wallaby dollars. And if those wallaby dollars don't multiply for the company, like at Kotaku, then they get shut down, mate. They get shut down. I'm sorry about that.
I appreciate that very much, Dave. As reported by the Sydney Morning Herald, Pedestrian Group is slashing at least 40 jobs and ending its licensing deals to publish third-party brands, including Vice, Refinery 29, Gizmodo, Lifehacker, and Kotaku in the coming months. Well, first of all, I want to say my condolences to those of you who will have to look for new work here.
Yeah.
Other than maybe some specific instances that might come out in discussing this, we don't wish anybody to lose their jobs or anyone to not have work. We hope you do find work. We just hope you don't find it in a way that continues to push some of the destructive narratives that Kotaku has pushed out in the world. The outlet adds these titles will no longer be published in Australia, with the majority of their staff to be let go. Now, maybe I'm crazy here, but I've heard that we have, especially considering my gaffe with the Shad accent here, that if you speak something in English, they can understand you in Australia.
Only if you're really drunk.
No, I have a lot of Australian viewers, and I also have an Australian editor, so we speak the same language.
Yeah, I'm seeing some dual purpose here, like that maybe Australian is compatible with not just American but also English.
You just blew my mind.
I mean, crazy, absolutely crazy.
You're mad. You're absolutely mad.
Don't touch my mustache.
I just ordered water and rice in Japanese.
And
I'm learning.
It's I just butchered a goodbye phrase and that's a joke from Toy Story 2 as well. B&T also reports that Pedestrian Group CEO Matt Rowley revealed the licensing deals were scrapped because it faced financial headwinds. Well, that's a softening of that phrase right there.
Unsurprising.
Yeah. He added, given these factors, we've made the tough decision to focus on our wholly owned pedestrian brands, where we control the strategy, the content, the product, the sales, and the outcome, the entire business. This means that we will transition out of our current brand licenses, which will reposition our business for the future. Now, this is a question that I have specifically. Were they just licensing out these brands and letting other people do the work?
That's what it sounds like to me, just based on what you just said. But
that is what they were doing. Yeah. They were basically funding the publishing infrastructure out there. So Gizmodo is the one who owns the Kotaku brand. So they said, "Hey, Kotaku," or "Hey, Gizmodo, can we license a Kotaku and publish it over here?" And they said, "Sure, go for it." And then they went, "We're not making any money off of this. We got to get out of here." Like, Vice is on that list. Didn't Vice shut down like 2 years ago? I could have sworn they were gone.
Well, Vice is still going, at least in Canada. It's still producing television.
Is it? That's
genuinely like the Who Killed WCW and a whole bunch of like Dark Side of the 90s, Dark Side of the Ring. Like those are all still in production.
I find this paragraph you highlighted here very interesting, that it says we want to control the strategy, the content, the product, sales, and outcome. That's a subtle dig, I would find, that they're saying that whatever these guys, these particular groups were saying was not something that they approved of at the end of the day, or was making them money, apparently.
Yeah,
well, if they were associated with Kotaku, they were definitely getting a lot of
right.
Well, you know, and I don't know anything about Kotaku Australia versus Kotaku American, or American is probably the wrong word for. I don't think Alyssa Mercante.
Kotaku #1 best site, better than all. Duh.
I also saw there's also the fact that this is it sounds like it's a word like autocon, where it seems like they're trying to co-opt another phrase. I wouldn't put them in that area where they seem like they're actually fans of the things that they cover.
I would say maybe back in the day, if we dug, we'd probably find like the two guys who started the site were probably massive like video game fans, but as we know who works there now, they're not.
Well, and ultimately, as all these companies expanded, they needed talent, and that talent came from a limited pool, and the people who couldn't write at a real paper and couldn't write, intelligently about politics anywhere, they went to work at these outlets, and now I'm going to tell you, nobody wants to work for the mainstream. And as you know, nobody wants to work for the mainstream now, Spencer. They all want to be on an independent, splashy site. Yeah, so it's wild. But I think there's some unique things that happened with a lot of these outlets that they've licensed. And they're ditching a lot of stuff. Did you know that Kotaku Australia also had a YouTube channel?
I did not.
I only learned it during this whole fiasco.
Yeah, they literally
had 5 views.
Well, they but they had a lovely podcast. Come on, that guy and that girl really tried. And
nothing against the effort, but it's just showing there was nobody was watching.
You gotta think at this point the brand name itself is just napalm. Like you just the name Kotaku, people hear it and they just instantly tune it out.
Yeah, and some people think it's just fusion food, and they make them think of tacos, just a weird taco.
Well, if it were tacos, then people would like it a lot more, I think.
Yeah, but it's like it's like a sewage taco, Jonas.
Mexican Iron Man, is that you?
I'm just saying.
Moving on here. This will have an impact on roles within the group, and I appreciate the uncertainty that this change creates. So we will be in contact immediately with those people where possible. We will look for opportunities for redeployment, and we'll continue to work with everyone over the coming days to support this difficult transition. That where possible, we'll look for opportunities for redeployment. That sounds like the kind of thing you say to keep people from going ahead and spilling their guts online.
I'm not gonna lie though, Jonas, that is a very clear, like, what do you want to call it? Like executive speak, business speak. Like, we're not going to, give you a new job or fire you. We're going to redeploy you. But I got to admit, something about it sounds really cool. Something about it sounds a lot better.
Well, I mean, that's a military statement. We're going to redeploy you. You're going to be the janitor.
You know what it is. You know what it is, culture, and you just. Like, obviously it's a military thing, but I think with redeployment, that gives you an inherent sense of purpose. You're being deployed. You're being given something like, okay, I'm right there with you.
Yeah.
Somebody's got to man the Alaska bases, right? So
that's right.
Yeah.
So we're gonna move Kotaku Australia to Alaska. So have fun. No, honestly, but this is really funny because if you think about it, they basically bought all these licensees from Go Media to use some of their content and to obviously have their staff of their own to write their content. It goes to show you that, Go Media can wreck everybody. It's not even their own company. Just if you license stuff from them, you're gonna fail. And going back to their own stuff, I think, is a good strategy. I think that's ultimately what I think. Yeah. You just watched a clip from the latest That Game Place live stream covering, the likes of Kotaku. And unlike Kotaku, you will always get quality game news here on the channel. So be sure you're subscribed by turning the little red button to gray. And of course, hitting the thumbs up, because it really does help with channel notifications. Speaking of notifications, make sure you turn those on as well. And, turn them all on, all notifications, because you don't want to miss a thing. Because, we've got game reviews coming and a lot more. Thanks for checking out this clip, and as always, game on.